Hey, everybody, and welcome to Attempts at Governance, episode 244. Still here in Brooklyn, still terrible internet, but a great show ahead. And we're going to start right with the state of the Treasury. We missed it last week, but good to check in. Right now, here we are. Oh, we're down bad on dot. We're down 5.1 million dot from the Treasury right now. 5.1 million dot down, bringing us to 20.14 million. We're up 330,000 USDT to 2.09 million and up 190,000 USDC to 4.44 million. And remember, we're trying to get that USDC up higher so that Birdo can claim the funds for the Polkadot app. But you may be wondering, why are we down 5.1 million dots? A bit odd, right? Well, the reason is because we paid out the 5 million dot to Hydration. Remember, they did a 5 million dot proposal for LP incentives, LP rewards, and they already agreed to send back 3 million, but they just got it just today, 34 minutes ago. Oh, no, 13 hours, 34 minutes ago. So I assume that the 3 million dot will be back into our coffers in no time. That's the state of the Treasury. I'll now throw it over to Funky for the state of the funk.
Jay, the state of the funk, admittedly, is one of despair today.
What?
Because I despair to tell you how incredible the Polkadot Capital event was the other night. So I want to give you a huge shout out, first and foremost, to Dave Sadaka from Parity, along with Chris and Karen Napoli, the ones who are spearheading the Polkadot Capital group. Very, very pure signal room, really selective group of investors. These are people who are coming from TradFi, that run hedge funds or market making activities, that are just curious about crypto, looking to deploy. So they really are clean slates, the true tabula rasa, that don't know anything about Polkadot. I was pulled into many conversations to explain what makes Polkadot's architecture unique. Made a lot of great friends. John, of course, from Magenta was there. So really, really, really high value evening. It was supposed to go for 2 hours, went for over 3.5 before they finally kicked us out of the room. It was about 30 people, so had incredible conversations, many of which I'm going to follow up on. Karen actually asked me if I'd be willing to be a panelist or a moderator for future events to help educate people. Of course, me with the background as a teacher comes in very handy in these kinds of situations. So again, really despair to put into words and articulate how valuable this evening was for new capital looking to deploy into the ecosystem and really trying to learn about what's going on in Polkadot. So thanks so much, Jay.
Wow, despair for sure. Thank you very much, Funky. Very nice, and thank you for representing Polkadot so well everywhere you go. You are a model agent. Thanks very much for being here. And I know we're going to lose you in just a sec because you're going to Angie Dalton's um, gaming brunch at the Block Space. The guest list for that is also insane, so I'm sure you're going to work your magic there as well. Thank you, my friend.
Yes, sir. I will definitely do that. All right, Jay. You guys take care. Have a great show.
Awesome to have you here. Thanks very much. We're going to start today with an update on a ref gone by. This was a 3 million USDC agreement with Brave, the Brave browser, and this is to integrate Polkadot into the Brave wallet. Now we had Pierre from Parity asking what the hell's going on with this expensive proposal, and wanted to know a little bit more. I think Carlos, there you are. And I think you got in contact with Pierre. And who else do we have here on the show with you today? James.
Yeah, so a couple of things. Yeah, thanks a lot,
Nice.
Jay. So
So thanks for coming on,
a
guys.
couple
Yeah.
of things.
hmm
Appreciate that. Yeah, so we had some feedback on Twitter. Again, in the spirit of transparency, we answered all the questions there. And then my other colleague, Kyle, did do some answers in the Polkadot forum. I can link to that as well. I believe there was a really in-depth answer there. But with us right now and to really give us specific detail is James Mudgett, who was on with us before here on AAG, to kind of give you a sense of what's going on. He heads wallet for Brave.
My name is James Mudgett. I'm the VP of Web3 here at Brave. Yeah, just to give you, the key points. There's 5 milestones. It's a 12-month development cycle. Ramp up time on milestone 1 usually takes a little longer because we do internal reviews across the different new dependencies that we're introducing into Chromium codebase. So the one that took a little longer for us was just switching over to SR 25519. And we made a few different pull requests already, landing the SS58 as well. So we've got basic keyring support where now that SS2551 or sorry SR25519 has been fully reviewed, so it's been approved. We'll be completing milestone 2. So that stuff will all start landing behind a feature flag within Brave Nightly, and then we'll be moving over to transaction support. So yeah, I mean, intro is always a little longer. The UX, the UI work. Sorry, it's a bit noisy. I wasn't sure. Someone asking a question. Okay. Yeah, so we're currently at milestone. We're currently entering milestone 2 next month, and from there things should start falling in place a little quicker. I put together this timeline so you can kind of see where we are. We're about 3 months out from where the grant was approved, and we'll be it was a 12-month proposed development cycle. So DApp support, that's like Q1 2026, and then launch by March 2026, or hopefully sooner. Kind of approaching milestone 3 and 4. I mean, we've already started some of this, but just reviewing what we're going to use for like a DEX aggregator. So we'll begin like reviewing with different Polkadot teams across the ecosystem to see what we can use for bridging, swapping. Possibly, one provider would be great, but could be others. And yeah, so like a lot of those key decisions are still being made. But just give you guys a quick update. Here's some pull requests, links, and link to the full detail of every milestone. And then just kind of quick design stuff. Also note that like halfway through the design process, we understood that unified accounts were released. So we started to then simplify, but I think we'll probably just end up supporting both systems. It seems like not all parachains have fully adopted the new unified address support. So, and then just for kind of backwards compatibility for anyone that's kind of lagging. Yeah, just some quick design stuff. I mean, it all will function or fit nicely within the Brave wallet. You'll have sort of, what you'd normally have on like an L1 integration where you'd have like L2 support. You'd have like the L2 appear as with the asset. So this is sort of the account view that we already have in Brave Wallet. So it should fit nicely within that. Some little details may change. So for example, this is more like if we had a unified address, and I'm not sure if that's the correct format with prefix, but like if the unified address is you're supporting unified accounts, then you'd probably just have like all the assets kind of appear there. And then sort of what we do with like UTXOs too is we sometimes will mask the main account if like there's sort of like new levels of hierarchy and the address is maybe not necessarily one specific thing. So yeah, these are just like standard things that we already have kind of in the wallet, like when creating a new account. So just like any other Polkadot wallet, you'd be able to sort of specify specific Polkadot parachains that you want to create for that specific new account. Again, just very basic stuff here, send flows, swap flows, and I don't take up too much time here. So yeah, like simple swap flow, we have this aggregator of aggregators currently. There's a way to sort of like target specific DEX aggregators, but we usually have a kind of a default automatic setting. This allows us to sort by like, best liquidity or speed, or there's different labels that we put on some of the quotes that are returned, but users can target specific ones too. So if we did have multiple DEX aggregators, they would kind of users could specify, if it's like if it's one specific DEX aggregator that they want to use, they would be able to do that. It would be probably like ZenLink or Hydra DX. I don't know out of the two, but something like that. You'd be able to pick which one you want to use. I think testnet stuff. Yeah, just again, basic implementation. I think it'll be like pretty much fall in line with our existing UX, at least like the unified account support flow. And then there'll be like maybe one tier level of like specifying specific parachain accounts. If you're performing a swap, there may be like some small little different UX than like a standard L1. But yeah, that's basically it. And you can reach us on Brave. Feel free to tweet at us. You can email me directly, especially if you have like a project and you'd like to see it integrated. But go back to this. This is basically where we are today. Thanks.
All right, thanks for the 3-month update. That's really nice that you came on and did that. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Maybe some direction? Yeah, Lorena, let's go.
No, I would like to read more about this, and would be great if you can share the update in the proposal, so in the referendum, so we can check all the information and maybe ask a question directly in the ref. Could be great.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll export this too and drop a link in the existing proposal, and we can kind of keep that as like the source of current status. But we plan to be like tweeting this stuff out to you as it lands. We have a separate X handle for Brave Nightly, so a lot of stuff will stay like behind a feature flag in Nightly until it's like we get to the basic support level, and then usually we'll like enable that on by default. So the plan and kind of like how the milestones were broken up, you'll get like, it'll be like basic parachain support, asset support, like relay network support. So like anywhere where we feel like, okay, people could get value out of this. Like we may not, the DApp support isn't until milestone 5. So like it'll be a separate, these things will just start kind of like landing, and we'll do separate marketing and announcements around each event.
Okay, we have just 10 seconds left, but we have 2 hands up. So let's go really quick. Robert, really quick question and really quick answer.
Yep. Hey, nice update. What is your time estimate? How long you think that the supporting the non-unified address format will still take? Because I think that's pretty optional. The other parachain should just upgrade.
So you're saying you think like most, let's just say by March 2020 or 2026, like, do you believe that most of the ecosystem will have merged over to the unified address support?
They should. It was just a question of like how much more resources you think that will take on your side?
I mean, we kind of went into this thinking we're going to support, the different prefixes and parachains independently. But yeah, I mean, if that's the case, and like the ecosystem, or the DAO's like, yeah, let's just go. Community's like, let's just go unified. Like, it could definitely speed things up for sure. But if we just went that route and then didn't support the backwards compatibility for
Okay, let's hear from Matches real quick.
TBD. We could update on that in the thread.
Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, are the wallets going to support like staking, voting, all these kind of features, or is it just a standard holding wallet?
So it'll support like swapping, bridging, basically anything we already currently have as far as a feature. We don't currently have staking. It'll be like DApp support. So obviously you could use like any other Web3 DApp, but for staking. But I think until we introduce like staking across the board, it probably not. It'll be just like swapping and bridging.
Okay.
And Web3. Yeah.
All right. Nice to see you, James. Thanks very much for the update. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Cool. All right, we're going to move on now to the title ref of the week, which is, please, no, I closed it really bad. It's PixelProof, everybody. PixelProof by Mathias is here to talk about it. Decentralized photo app for everyone, 575,000 USDC for a fully decentralized production-grade photo storage application built for the Polkadot ecosystem, on the Polkadot ecosystem. Mathias, you got 8 minutes. What do you want to tell us today?
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so we were talking with some representatives at Parity who wanted to see more dApps being built in Polkadot. And they reached out to us with the wish up, because obviously we've touched all the different parachains in the ecosystem so far. They know what Polkadot has looked like. They know what hiccups are taking place. So, and obviously a lot of people coming from Parity are former Google players, so Google employees. They said, look, why don't we take a low-hanging fruit, like something that's familiar to the retail user, that's familiar with the mainstream users, and start introducing more dApps, start introducing a very familiar UX, but fully decentralized. So we agreed on a Google Photos alternative could be a sexy way of showcasing what Polkadot is capable of with all the different parachains, with what's coming to Asset Hub, with the new storage that's being built by Eiger, and just get Polkadot in the hands of the masses. We should kind of stop. I mean, not stop, but it's nice to be innovating on the protocol level, but it's even better to start showcasing the full capabilities of it. So we agreed on, okay, let's do an initial proof of concept, additional MVP, or additional fully built basically dApp that's going to utilize all the different capabilities Polkadot has. But it's also part of, let's say a little bit of a bigger initiative. I think we all live in Web3, but we still keep on using Web2 tools because it's a very nice user experience for us. And I've seen over the past weeks a lot of different tweets, a lot of different forum posts, a lot of different Discord discussions, right? I mean, we still use Discord, we still use Luma, we still use Notion, we still use Google Photos, Google Docs, right? Because it's very convenient for us. We have a good UX. However, we are kind of, we don't move past that, right? Somebody has to kick off the initiative. Somebody has to kick off the motion. Say, okay, we have to move Web3 if we want to really embrace the ethos of Web3. And this Google Photos is just a showcase of the capabilities, and it's hopefully going to kick off a much larger initiative where other teams going to come into the space and start building on Polkadot. So just for reference as well, I mean, from the user experience, it's going to be a very much very familiar experience like Google Photos. So we're going to implement different decentralized storage providers. We're going to have NFT minting. We're going to have NFT token gating. We're going to have NFT incentivization, monetization. And I mean, Dan is here also from Pop, from the Rogue team. We're going to work closely with them, especially on the smart contract stuff when it comes to getting incancelability smart contracts in. You basically have to envision this as part of a larger dApp marketplace down the stretch, right? Where users will basically be able to host applications or dApps in a Polkadot dApp marketplace and basically get monetization or get incentivized for their work. So, for example, once this photo app is on there, other dApps will follow. If you as a creator create a dApp, the treasury will be able to charge a specific fee, like the App Store on iOS, for example, right, for the marketplace. But the user will also basically be incentivized for the dApp usage.
Yes, all right. Thanks very much. Yeah, I do want to kind of underline this idea of building services on top of the infrastructure. Looking into the future and figuring out how we can make this network sustainable. We have fees, we have core time. Maybe we could get MEV involved, but these are not sources of income that could really support the infrastructure underneath. And this really is the Google strategy, is to build services on top of the infrastructure and drive use of the infrastructure underneath with them, as I understand it. But I think maybe that's kind of the idea here. You're working with a lot
No,
of,
fully agree.
yeah, you're working with a lot of groups in the ecosystem already. You have
Yeah.
IPFS here. We paid for a few storage solutions. I guess you'd integrate those as they're ready.
I mean, we're going to work with a couple of storage providers, namely obviously Crust, as it's already implemented, fully tested on our side. We've reached out and we're working with Eiger on their current storage offering that they've just
Yeah.
completed the phase 3 for.
Yeah, that's what I was talking
So we
about.
are, yeah. So I think the biggest challenge of the whole project is going to be encryption, because there are different levels of encryption at rest, on device, on demand, on the fly. I mean, there's so many encryptions that we need to take care of. So we have to find the sweet spot. But all the different providers are very eager in helping out here. Also, for example, the Origin Trail guys with Humanitech. You had Giga just recently on your Space Monkeys, right? I mean, Humanitech is definitely going to play a big role, specifically in the Web3 space,
Yeah,
where
totally.
we can prevent like child abuse, porn,
Exploitations,
bullying, and all this kind of stuff, to kind of flag pictures before they even land on chain. So I think this will be a nice project that can showcase be a nice, let's say, lighthouse project for all the different projects in the ecosystem.
The Crust is still using Polkadot or no?
They're still kind of in a mix. They are parachain, but they have own mainnet. But yeah, they're still very much focused on Polkadot. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing I wanted to say is you know what was a cool thing that Nodal did? They built that clicker app where it had like kind of embedded authentication inside the photos. That was pretty cool. Is there anything going to happen like that here with Humanitech?
I just replied today on one of the tweets on X when somebody suggested, no, it was not something like that, but he said, how about some social graph like Pinterest or Instagram style? And since the ref went live 24 hours ago, and my DMs are full with ideas on how we should expand the PixelProof idea. As I look, I'm more than happy to explore different extensions and expansions of this thing, because I think at the end it's going to be a community-driven decision. But I want to focus on the basic ideas first, and then we can build on top of it. Also, I mean, PixelProof is a working title. Already 2 comments on Polkadot, they were like, they don't like the name. It's a working title for now. It was meant to be like proof of pixels, but then the name Pop is already taken by some guys. We have to find a nice, yeah, it would be nice. But we have to find a way of creating a very nice name that can go mainstream, and it doesn't necessarily have to have like Polkadot or powered by Polkadot. I don't want this to be powered by Polkadot. I want Polkadot to be run in the back end. Give the user the experience of a very Web2-like app, but with Web3 experience.
Cool. Anybody else have any questions or comments? I just ran there. I mean, it's a good idea. Obviously, lots of people are thinking about how to make this the best possible. Anybody? Yeah, Rob.
Hey, nice update, Matthias. So my question is about your combination of privacy, but also filtering content that shouldn't be saved. So I see that you have Umami Tech as like the AI provider for that. I don't know much about them. In the background, is this some RPC? Is this one server of theirs that goes through all this content, or?
Yeah, Humanitech was built by Origin Trail, and they have their decentralized knowledge graph, which are already filling up with very much sensitive data. I mean, their biggest client is Pornhub, for example. So they already have a large database of sensitive content, and they're looking for providers who can help them with filling this decentralized knowledge graph with how to say, prohibited content. So they're already gathering different information from different sources all around the world, what is not suitable to be uploaded on chain. So they're going to definitely play a very big role when it comes to filtering out sensitive data before it goes on chain.
And we're at time there. Rob,
But
incredible.
all the data that ends up on chain first goes through Moneytek's servers.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an interesting question, Rob. Okay, let's explore this further another time.
You're muted, Jay.
You're mute.
Let's explore this further another time. Matthias, thanks very much.
Just for reference as well, I mean, some guys from Parity wanted to join today, but unfortunately got caught up in meetings. So they're going to join in the following weeks on AAG.
That sounds awesome. All right, thanks very much, sir. We're going to carry on now to discuss another new proposal by our very own Allison Barr. We spoke about it last week, hiring an ecosystem talent lead. And here he is. I think you're opening a bounty here, Tommy. Is that what you're doing?
It looks like a bounty, but it's a regular multi-sig. But we get to it.
Oh, interesting. How much is this for, by the way?
Yeah. So the proposal is for 130,000 USDC.
All right.
Plus 3,000 DOT. And I'm using the latest technology, XCM version 5. I guess that is why Subsquare is not yet showing the values, but we will figure that out.
Plus
okay.
3,000 DOT, you said.
Yeah, so
Nice.
It is a collaborative proposal, and we also have Daniel here on the call from Parity HR, and also Web3 Foundation HR. So what is the proposal?
Sorry.
The goal is to hire an ecosystem talent lead for a full year, 12 months, and to attack two problems, basically all our short-term problems and the long-term problems. So OpenGov is growing. We have development, we have the marketing bounty, we have UX bounty, we have meetups, events, we have all kinds of bounties and activities going on in the ecosystem. And so far, when we want to hire people into different positions, it's typically we hear about someone, etc. Right? But for an organization of our size, where it's you could easily guess we're above 100 people working for OpenGov. Or maybe like up to 300. It's like even that is unclear. We are at a point where we actually need a little bit of HR culture, where we need a little bit of an understanding of how everything works. And if we cannot bring those skills, because not everyone has sort of the management or HR skills that they can bring, we need someone to support that whole thing, right? So the first primary idea is just get someone who has experience with HR and talent to bring that experience into the ecosystem, to share the culture and to help where it is needed, right? So that's sort of the immediate vision. And then two specific goals. One goal is to help with the short-term needs. So when there is a need in a bounty or in any of the non-traditional teams within the DAO, to get someone onto the team, to hire someone or to find talent, that ecosystem talent lead would be there, be able to sort of get down the requirements, be able to write the role description, and then work with other stakeholders like Parity HR, Web3 Foundation HR, maybe the Polkadot Blockchain Academy, maybe Interplanetary Talent Services or another talent agency, and see where we can get the people, right? So that's the near-term need, is like really facilitate the hiring. And then as a more long-term ambition, get the system in place to decentralize the whole process, to maybe have like there's job boards, but there is also bigger systems that you can use that facilitate the gig economy, or where people can present their profile, or where teams can start to look for people, right? So that's the longer-term ambition. We want to bring this together. So the idea is to hire someone who has, let's say, 4 years of experience or an equivalent track record, who understands Web3 and the Polkadot ecosystem, who can bring some of that experience, and who also has the hands-on experience with the tooling that is needed. So that's the description we came to. There was a lot of conversations with people from within the Polkadot ecosystem, from outside. So there was really people reaching out to be helpful in that context. And so the salary we arrived at would be $90,000 per year as a base salary for a global remote full-time position. And that's not an hired position. It's not an employee, so there is no social security and other stuff attached. It's basically more like a freelance from how they would be approaching this. And then a performance bonus of 3,000 DOT if they would be reaching the performance goals that we have set out in the proposal. There is some budget for equipment, travel, and education. That would be $20,000, and most of that is for travel. So we would want to see that person be willing to go to conferences, to go to the places where we might need the talent. I can say from experience, when I'm at one of the bigger conferences, there is people coming and actively like looking to see if there's also job opportunities. And then $20,000 for using tools and services to get job placements out. I don't know. I don't have the experience. Daniel can maybe explain better, but placing ads for job descriptions that you're placing, or constructing a service like interplanetary talent services. Okay, that's the budget breakdown. Who is there? It would be a multi-sig, similar to a bounty. But since we want to pay out a salary in USDC, the idea was a bounty is basically a multi-sig. So let's go directly for a multi-sig. So it would be a 2 or 3 multi-sig with 3 curators. So 1 curator would be me. 1 curator would be Daniel, who is on our call here from Parity HR, sorry. And then there would be Sandro from Web3 Foundation HR, right? So we're bringing in the expertise from HR people in the traditional space. And we're bringing in me with the connections to everyone else in the ecosystem and make sure we have sort of an alignment with everything that's going on in OpenGov. Yeah, I would say that's it basically. Maybe handing the word to Daniel if you want to add, and then maybe opening up for questions.
Yeah, please, Daniel.
No, I think you kind of covered a lot of it. Like our main aim is to see how we can just stop losing people that come into the system. As Tommy said, a lot of people come to these events or they go through PDA, and the question is, how do I get a job here? How do I speak to people? What if I'm not an engineer or someone that immediately goes to say Parity or Web3? So the aim is to how do we interact with them and keep them within the system as long as possible, and to then coach the rest of the ecosystem on how to grow their own kind of teams or find people. So then it isn't just a constantly having to search for people. There'll just be strong networks of referrals that can be kept within the ecosystem.
All right. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Concerns, suggestions? Yeah, there he is. Don, what's up?
Is there already a place where we can find all bounties related to Polkadot?
If you just want to see the list of bounties, you can go to Subscribe or Poke Assembly. That's the most straightforward. And then if you're looking for additional information, sometimes there's other places that might provide it in a better way. But yeah, typically my first I go to Subscribe or Poke Assembly.
Anybody else? All right, then we're all good there. We'll check in on how this is going next week. Tommy, thanks very much. Daniel, thanks for joining the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We are going to cruise now on to review of Jamton. Where are you there? Wait, where is Jamton? Where is Jamton? Hold on, everybody. Here it comes. Oh, you know what's cool about this proposal? Is it's perfectly balanced right now. We are where we started, at a perfect 50-50 split on the vote. 20.4 million on the I side, 20.4 million on the nay side. Oh my God, you guys are just zen and balanced out here, waiting for literally anybody to come in and rock the vote. Guys, welcome back to the show.
Hi, Dre. Hi. Thank you so much for having us today. So I have a couple of updates, and Vladimir going to be sharing the screen, but I also want to say kudos to the Brave. I personally use it. So it's really cool when you see that the so big company come to the Polkadot, and, it's tough time, but we need to push harder and become, the best. So what we have today to discuss, thank you so much for Kuz DAO, Hungarian DAO, Trustless Core, ReDAO, Lucky Friday, Paradox, and of course we have some guys who we need to speak with. It's a Polkadot, True DAO, and Permanence DAO. We actually have the call with Permanence DAO, so we bring tomorrow the proper answer for all questions what we collected for last week, and we started from there. So what we have today, it's the most of the question when we become NE, except the house DAO will just vote NE and don't describe why. So like always, love house DAO, love Limo, everyone. So it's the KPI, what is the GM bring to Polkadot and why basically everybody need to support it. So we really easily can explain this, and we try to make it proper way and tomorrow in the text, but today I want to share it. So 1 week ago in Ton was launching the first layer 0 and USDT 0 gold coin inside the Ton ecosystem. So it's official gold from Tether, and it's become the huge impact. And I don't know, it's some mystical thing, but we working on last 6 months with the gold producer from Switzerland, the company called Hercules. And we're happy to announce today that, you know, how we bring KPI, how we bring liquidity, what we bring to Polkadot ecosystem, that Hercules gold producer from Switzerland, from Zurich, choosing Gemton and prepare the liquidity for 1.5 million to deploy 15 August inside the Gemton and deliver it to the Ton ecosystem. And we're going to be using the Gemton like minter and burner for the gold, and initial supply is going to be 1.5 million. And we deliver it to the Capital DEX, Telegram Minium, and the StoneFi, the biggest DEX inside Ton. But it's everything going from the Polkadot to Ton. And when the people want to redeem and become the gold, it's going to become back to the Polkadot, to the Gemton, and it's going to be create, I think, the big impact for this. So the next thing, it's we want to discuss the TGBTC. It's really big, new hundreds million liquidity preparing Bitcoin version inside the Telegram Open Network, and through the Gemton, you can use this liquidity inside the Polkadot ecosystem. Don't using the stupid Rapid BTC or TBTC. What is really like not so good from our perspective, like the TGBTC. And tomorrow we have the call with the Gidration team in the morning to discuss the opportunity, how it can be delivered to the Gidration, because our main goal for the Gemton is to bring the customers and maximize the traction from the transaction, and we try to work together with the leaders in Polkadot, and tomorrow we have the call with the Gidration to discuss opportunities. Also yesterday we have the call with the Ton Keeper, and this gold coin, when it's going live, it's going to be presented in the Ton Keeper, what is have 50 million MAUI users in the Ton ecosystem. And it's also going to be, everybody going to be see the Gemton, everybody going to be see the Polkadot ecosystem and so on. So the next thing, it's a wood. We're happy to tell that we become approved from the AdsGram to launch finally this wood AdsGram campaign, and we adding today liquidity inside the Ton ecosystem and the wood. So we're expecting hundreds, thousands potential customers. We don't know, but we're going to be use the AdsGram, the best tool to onboarding customer to trade wood, and we incentivize it with the special program inside the Telegram Open Network. So regarding the proposal, we have a lot of conversation behind the scenes. What the people want to see, what the people want to have. We in touch with the Snowfork, with the Paraspell, with different companies, and right now we're preparing the infrastructure to onboarding the users from Telegram maximum easy way in one click to the Polkadot ecosystem. That's our main priority, and we're spending a lot of time with the whole team to deliver it online. Yes, do have anyone the question?
Anybody got a question or comment here? Looks pretty good to me still. Yes, Lorena.
Yes, a really interesting project. I like that the project has two referendum that was rejected, and the team continue working. So for me, it's a very good option for when the referendum is rejected, continue to work. And in addition to that, for me, having this kind of integration with other ecosystem, it's a very, very good idea for increase our ecosystem. Tom has more than almost 9,500 million of people, something like that. Or maybe not. But yes, a lot of people. So for me, it's a potential in increasing of Polkadot ecosystem, and I consider we should support.
Thank you so much.
Nice. James.
Thank you so much for support. Hi, James.
He's out.
Oh,
All right. Well,
okay.
we just hit the timer anyway, guys. So thanks for coming on. Halfway through this decision period, perfectly balanced. I've never seen such perfect balance in a proposal. Oh, I think James maybe came back. He's trying to come around. James,
No.
coming in the other room. Are you stuck out here? We don't know. Okay, we're gonna skip it. We're gonna skip it. But guys, thanks very much for coming on.
See you next time.
See you next time, buddy. Okay, now moving on to Ref 1619. This is the POP CLI, an all-in tool for Polkadot development, currently enjoying 99.8% support with 13 million dot on the I side. I wonder if we have some abstains maybe. Oh wow, three of the DVs and Kustau are all split on this. So this vote is far from over, because anybody could tip back into the I or nay side. There we go. Where are you, Don? What's going on today?
Hello. Yeah, I don't know. Like last time I did a presentation, I don't know if we should just go straight into questions or, yeah.
Okay, does anybody have any questions about this one? So far, so good. 577,500 USDC on this one. This is entering confirmation in a couple weeks. Now, you guys, if this passes, you're going to be waiting in line behind other projects to claim this USDC. Just so you know, we're a little tight on USDC on the main treasury right now. So there's that. But does anybody have any questions? We just love it. Have you spoken to any of the DAOs who are currently split?
Yeah, so in the Koos DAO, I've been mainly talking to Taylor, and we have a small change that we will make to the AI integration, basically more details. And yeah, I'm not sure how to make changes to a proposal when it's live, but I was planning to add a change log at the top, basically detail the changes that have been made. So yeah, that is, I think I'm gonna ask Taylor for feedback. Everything is ready. I just want to make sure that he's happy. I have a call with Permanence DAO. I also answered all their questions. I will take a look at the DVs. It's good that you mentioned that, and I will make sure that I reach out to them as well. But other than that, yeah.
What does OpenGov.watch say about updating, Tommy?
About updating?
Adding context in the middle of a proposal run.
My personal opinion is, if it's not too late in the proposal, it's fine. Like, we're before the half, so like my personal opinion is it's fine, as long as you're improving it.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah,
I mean, you can always make a better deal out of it.
yeah, we're not changing timelines, money, anything. We'll just putting a little bit more detail in what exactly the AI integration would look like.
Maybe I just want to speak in favor of the proposal. Like, when I first saw it, I was a little bit like, 500,000. But I have to say, I've been trying out Ink in November. And so has been 2 times in my life where I deployed a substrate chain on my computer. And like one of them was when I like first encountered Polkadot, and it was sort of like compiling forever and so on. And then the second time was when I was using PopCLI, and it's just like very pleasant if you just like type in a few buttons and then everything happens. So, and I think when we consider that we want to onboard as many developers as possible, I think from this perspective it makes a lot of sense. And then, as always, I think the pop team is very engaged in the ecosystem and sort of really looking forward.
Yeah, there were, I think, in general comments about, yeah, is this money needed for building a tool? We're not only building a tool, and this tool does a lot. So it's for chain builders, it's for smart contract builders, and we're now also adding front ends to it. The goal is when a developer comes to Polkadot or is building on Polkadot, the CLI is the only thing that they need. Of course, we will have this Solidity tooling that is upcoming, but all the other types of development that is already happening in Polkadot, we are covering that audience. And we're really trying to drastically improve the developer experience. So yeah, like we're giving support to all the teams that are building chains, smart contracts, and yeah, like we are really building every day very hard. And it's for like 2.5 years if you count it as like one-man show building. So it's for a few engineers trying to build as many useful features as possible to improve the developer experience. And we're also supporting and educating, and this is something new in this proposal, but we really want to create more educational content, video content around building on Polkadot. We got a lot of feedback that people would like to see that. And we have a team that wants to create that content also. So we're really excited about that. And we really believe that we can add a lot of value there. So yeah.
All right. Looking good, guys. Let's check out next week. Still a few weeks out from confirmation because there's actually very little actual dot participating here, but so much dots waiting on the sidelines to be swayed one way or the other. Very exciting stuff, but enjoy the green and hope it lasts for you. Thanks for coming on. Peter, do you want to say anything?
I don't want to say any. I don't have anything much to say except if you haven't tried the Pop CLI, it's probably worth trying it. I personally haven't been doing as much coding as I used to do, but every time I go back and things just work, it makes me so happy.
Yeah. No, the people I've heard who have tried it are very impressed. So yeah, let's keep that up. Very nice to see you guys. Thank you very much for being here. One more, I think, to discuss today. Yes, Project Davos. This is an interesting AI focused project, and AI projects to help people navigate OpenGov. We have Mateo back, and currently, wait a second, hold on. This is still waiting for decision deposit. Oh, no, decision deposit. Nope, still waiting for decision deposit. 25,000 USDC, a very low introductory ask. We have 33.6 million votes on the nay side, including 4 DVs and Chaos DAO. Oof, that's tough. Mateo, thanks very much for coming back. And what's going on? What do you want to tell us about this today?
Hi guys. Yeah, indeed. We were surprised about the result because the validation that we did in the past weeks and months show that users really support this kind of tool for easily lower make the easier to engage with the delegates, with the decentralized voices, and with OpenGov in general. So it's a bit of a surprise that so far the voting sentiment is negative. So last time and the time before I pitched the project, and this time I would like to talk with you and understand how we can if we can, I can answer your question, how we can go better. I believe that there is time still to convert the result in a positive outcome. But maybe yeah, it's also worth to listen from you guys and hear what's your take about that, and how we can learn from this adventure so far. So yeah, if you guys have questions, I'm here to answer.
Yeah, right. Do we have any questions or comments at this stage? For me, it was kind of like, I was like, oh, this is interesting. I don't really know how it would go, but it was such a small ask to start out with. I was kind of interested to see what you could put together with this amount. So it was kind of like seems like a small risk with a potentially interesting upside. Tommy, what do you think about this as a watcher? Would you do you think this would be a helpful tool?
Yeah, so a little bit of mixed feelings. Like typically, I'm very skeptical about any kind of AI proposal. But this was one where last week when you presented, I was thinking like, this could actually be relevant. So still on the fence a little. I'm gonna give it more time to think about it.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Yeah, it's interesting. There is kind of an AI skepticism because it became a buzzword. We did have a lot of shit AI proposals come through the treasury here, but that's definitely not always the case. And you guys have really done your due diligence actually to validate the usefulness of this. Lorena, what are you thinking?
Yes, I have some concern. Well, we discussed that last week or last session. Mateo contacted me by message explaining that, okay, because for me it's 2 or 3 different concerns related with if the delegation could be by tracks, and if the delegation will be for everybody. What's about DB? What's about DAO? So for me, could be great. For me, should be MVP to start working on that, or to do maybe something small, try it, and then do something bigger. For me, that's, and maybe instead of having this project in Polkadot, do it in Kusama, okay? So we can try and test the AI. But this is my proposal or my idea.
Okay, starting even further back, starting on Kusama. What do you think about that, Mateo?
Yeah, we can definitely do it for Kusama. At this stage, we can do basically everything. So it's very important to hear feedback and do what the community and the active members suggest to do. So this is valuable feedback. Of course, we choose Polkadot because we thought that there was more delegates and more like information to use to give to the AI. But we can definitely try on Kusama. About reducing the work and therefore the size of the request. That would be difficult because it's I think it's already quite small, the scope of the MVP. And also, we really want to be sure that even with the MVP, we are able to provide our tool, a project, a DApp that is working. It's an MVP, and there will be banners about saying this is experimental, but people should be able to use it from the time that we release it. So we don't want to build a prototype or just a mock-up, and we really want to build, even for the MVP, something that is possible to test for everyone, test and use already. So yeah, this is the minimum of the scope that we find out, because we agree with you. We want to start very we go to be fast, but at the same time with a working product. But yeah, thank you for the suggestion. Thank you so much.
Nice, thanks. Okay, sir. Well, nice to see you again. And yeah, interesting results. I'm curious to see how we go forward here and get this MVP up and running so we can really see, if it greatly improves outcomes in OpenGov or doesn't. We don't know until we try, though. But yeah, thanks for coming on, and hopefully we see you again and get to continue trying to establish this relationship.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you. So that concludes all of the presentations this week. I'm going to do a little speed run through some refs on the go that we've spoken about, open it up to the panel in case anybody has anything they want to speak about quickly. Then we'll cover the confirming refs. And then I got to head back to the block space. This is going to be the last kind of trip for the Coos where we're like really intensely involved in events. So I appreciate everybody's patience with that situation. But let's take a look at the refs on the go here. So the Pudgy Penguins events with Wubert, we saw them come through. They're doing still a little bit better, 26.9% in favor of this one. 3/4 of the way through the decision period, though. I have to say, last night, Pudgy Penguins had a party at the block space, and it was very well attended, and very cool people came in. I think Pudgy Penguins, they're the mascot of Web3, and they're doing a great job on events. Still struggling to understand why people have a problem with this $80,000 request for multiple events, but it is what it is. But if it helps for anybody to reconsider, Pudgy Penguin Party last night at the block space, massive hit, and lots of people coming in. The avatar accounts, this is just about to finish its decision period. Didn't manage to get over 2% support on this one. Also, I don't know if you saw, but the Epico kind of alternative proposal to this also narrowly failed. We had Gotham coming out on the timeline and saying, thanks everybody. Anyway, sorry we didn't do well enough. It was a very honorable response to a failed proposal in OpenGov. But yeah, it looks like the avatar accounts is also going to be failing here. The Snowbridge proposal, we had them on the show last week. This one struggling at 17.8% in favor. Really interesting discussion last week about this. Almost on the decision period here. I think they are in talks with some of the bigger orgs in the ecosystem now, so maybe something can be worked out. But that situation, as far as Ref 1587 goes, doesn't look like they're going to be passing there. Gossamer, similar situation with 815,000 USDC, only 27.7% in support of this. The Treasury really asking big questions about where funding is supposed to be coming from, and especially when it comes to these big infrastructure projects. Wagoy, the 660,000 USDC, this one is on the edge at 46.3% in favor, and about a quarter or a third left of the decision period there. This one I think could still go either way. We have Hungarian and Poker World on the I side. We have Chaos DAO and Trustless on the nay side. Coos DAO and Jam and Permanence all hanging back on abstain. Any of those could, I think, flip it over to I. So I'll have to see if Wagoy can figure it out there in the remaining time left. I'll open it up to the panel now in case anybody wants to say something quick about something they're seeing in OpenGov, share any news, good news, bad news, big life changes, anything. I will say that the early smart contracts on Kusama, I think is facing well, a lot of people are coming up with some issues with it, and I believe they're diligently being addressed. But definitely try to deploy some smart contracts on Kusama and see what sort of issues you run into, because I think that feedback would be very helpful for the people making this happen. But anything else? Yes, Michael Jordan.
Yes, it's my real name, believe it or not.
We'll believe it. What's up?
I have a question for the PixelProof presentation earlier. I was a little late joining. I was working.
Okay, Matches, you're still there.
I'm still here.
Nice work. Okay, go ahead, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, so I actually presented a similar idea to this PBA Lucerne during the Pitch and Mentor project under the same name, PixelProof, as well, which is kind of funny.
No, really?
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Been researching it for a while. I did my master's dissertation on like blockchain-enabled cameras. So it's a topic that fascinates me, and something that I would love to see, and maybe we can work on it together, is I'm not sure if you're aware of C2PA. It's an initiative by the Content Authenticity Initiative, and they have a whole specification for proving validity of pictures.
Nice.
I'm not sure if you've heard of this, or if it's, maybe I can drop a link. But it's something that would help.
That's what I was suggesting there too. This would be cool. Can you guys get in touch?
Yeah, let's get in touch.
That would be amazing.
Are you in the Kustau or which Discord?
I can give you my username.
Yeah, I'll reach out.
I use this username everywhere. So
awesome.
Good.
Telegram as well.
Telegram also. Yep. That's best.
How funny is that? It's
yeah, literally the same name. I've been doing.
This is really.
Or,
cool, Florentino.
Look at that. We wanted to go for proof of pixels, and I was like, okay, like I said, pop is taken.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pixel proof.
I'm not sure. I see Andre as well is in the chat. He was also at PBA 6 or PBA 7 in Lucerne. I'm not sure if he can back me up here, but
I can back you up. Yes.
See, now we need proof of name. Florentino.
Yes, hello. Talking about the same proposal, I was wondering if you are aware of this app called Ente.
I've seen it. You put it in a chat, right?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry, I was on the go before, and I wasn't sure if you had seen
no
it,
worries.
but it is open source, really focused on end-to-end encryption, and they are really far ahead. It's on the market now.
I haven't seen it. I just checked it out. Looks nice. Yeah, I'll have a look at it. Yeah.
Cool. I mean, I'm really liking the discussion around this product, and this product will be owned by who? Are you gonna put it through the through the foundation, or the how do we own it by the treasury?
It's gonna be an open source DApp living on chain, right? So basically, it's up to the treasury then to decide how it's gonna evolve further.
Cool.
But there's gonna be a freemium package, basically up to 1 gigabyte of free storage. Anything above that, it's gonna be chargeable, and then all the fees and all the revenue from that is gonna go back to the treasury.
That's cool. Nice. All right. If you guys don't mind, I'm gonna take a look at the 3 confirming refs right now, and then we're gonna wrap up the show. We have this is cool. So Merkle Science. This was the Know Your Transfer or Know Your Token, Know Your Transfer group. They were struggling, but now they're confirming. Why? Well, here we have an update with Velocity Labs verifying that Crypto.com is going to be onboarded with the big if, that they implement Polkadot. So Crypto.com being onboarded here, and I don't know who changed their vote off this information. Oh, maybe it was this huge 12K2 vote that came in. I'm not sure. But anyway, Merkle Science now confirming that is going to be through in 2 days, about 3 days. If nobody comes in on the nay side, obviously it could happen because we're at 56.4% on the I side right now. Another confirming ref is Marketing Bounty Refill 2025. This is enjoying 75% support right now, but it is in sudden death. So if a big vote of 25.3 million comes in on the nay side, they will be wrecked. But they are about a day into their 7-day confirmation period. So if all goes well, the marketing bounty will continue for another, 6 months? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good. Finally, Polkadot Community Foundation funding for another year, 632,000 USDC. This has 63% support right now. This was a pretty spicy one, of course, because they do, although it has been difficult working with them, they do own the Polkadot app. They're doing some important things for the ecosystem right now. So I guess the onus is on us to get this working more in our favor. But looks like we're going to have another year to try it out here. As long as this 63% support holds over the remainder of the 6-day confirmation period remaining. So that's a little spicy there, but that's on the line. Anyway, thanks very much for coming and participating in the show, everybody, whether you're on the panel, whether you're in the chat. or watching in the future or listening, wherever you listen to podcasts, this show is also distributed every week. We're going to see you back on Monday for some Kusama conversations. And also, speaking of the Polkadot app, we have Berto on the podcast this Sunday, on Space Monkey Sunday. Berto is waiting for confirmation from the Apple Store to launch this app. I think as soon as they confirm, it's going to be launched the Monday after. So Space Monkey Sunday with Berto about the Polkadot app on Sunday. Maybe you launch on Monday or then the Monday after that, or some Monday in 2026. We really are just waiting for the centralized powers that be to confirm that we can do this. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for being here. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you very soon.